If you have a horizontal crack and a bowed wall, some of the applications are foundation anchors, carbon fiber strips, wall pins, and I-beams. A foundation anchor is a plate that's installed in the ground several feet away from the foundation. They run a bolt through your foundation, and there's a plate put on with a bolt that tightens it down and prevents it from moving. With a frost line, the freezing and thawing moves the earth. And so if you were to put a foundation anchor outside where there is a frost line, it will move. And every now and then you got to go down and tighten the bolt. If you intend on using carbon fiber strips, well, there you go. See the bottom of this wall? The bottom of the wall came in. A carbon fiber strip would have went to the floor. The only thing that would have held this would be whatever kind of glue they got on here. Now there are two other applications. One is a wall pin and the other is an I-beam. A wall pin, you take our 5/8 rebar down inside of this hole to the bottom of this cell. Then you would take the same size and it goes all the way up the top. They're wired together. Then gets filled with 5,000 psi concrete. It's a solid beam. This concrete will eventually go back, and there's no way that the bottom of this wall can ever come in. Put a carbon fiber strip to the footer, which is here, it will snap and that wall will come in. Now wall pins would be used in a mild bow. I-beams would be used with something more dramatic such as this. If you ever intend on selling the house, leaving the walls with the bow will be picked up by a home inspector, and it's a good chance you'll never sell the house. If you're going to finish the basement, you will have sheetrock in front of it. The wall will be structurally sound. There are two absolute ways of getting this wall back to straight. Number one, you have to raise the house and replace the wall. The second way, I could put this wall back into place and perfectly straight without replacing the wall. Now the cost would be 25–30% less expensive than replacing the whole wall. Before we do anything, we have to brace the wall and make sure it doesn't come in. On the outside, I will dig a relief area. Once we relieve the pressure on the outside, the weight of the house will cause the wall to just come back in place. Before we dug out the foundation, this crack was much larger, and had the wall come in, the house would then be condemned. You wouldn't be able to live here until it was fixed. Primary issue on this job is the bottom of the wall. That has to be pushed over. Once I push the wall back into place, I will install wall pins inside of the wall that will permanently hold the wall in place. You have to let the concrete inside cure up for several days before you remove any kind of bracing. This is the wall that had the massive bow in it. All right, this is where the crack was. The wall has already been backfilled and tamped, and it hasn't moved. Can't see the crack, so I'm going to have to put my glasses on. Right here, get in real close, right here is the crack. How the bottom of the wall was kicked out, it's nice and flush. And I'm the only person in this industry or any other that does this. If you can find somebody else that does this, well, they've probably seen my videos. That's right. We bet. Now this is the part of the wall I'm going to repair. Down here is what we're going to replace. This is a structural repair job. See how big this crack is? Remember the size of that crack? Wall is now back in place. Never even know the crack was there. Where once you had a collapsed foundation, wall is back. Now the home is structurally sound. If you do a job like this and you don't lift the weight of the house up, when you try to pull the wall out, the whole wall could fall in, the house could fall down, and everybody dies. When a foundation fails, Township comes to your house, and this is what they do for you. This building is declared unsafe for human occupancy. They will shut your electricity off, put a plug in your sewer. You'll have to move out. That happened 10 weeks ago. 10 weeks ago, I came out and I gave an estimate. Price was $34,500. Customer asked me, how can I come up with a price? I don't know what needs to be done. If you do have enough experience, you can come up with a price because you know precisely what needs to be done. This customer got 7 more estimates. You do that to yourself, your head's going to be spinning. You're not going to know what to believe, which is why for many, many years, I have been doing videos. I educate. One day I got the permit, November 14th, 2012. And the approval, November 15th, 2012. A day, permit, approval. Next day, you're back in. Or you can get as many estimates as you like. when you do an outside excavation job or you're going to replace a wall, the hole that you dig has got to be safe so that it doesn't cave in on. House has to be properly supported. Over here you have the gas pulling away from the wall. You've got this supported here. When you do a job like this, safety has always got to come first. If a company was hired that wanted to just come in and wham bam, get the wall out, get the wall in, somebody might have gotten killed. Had the chimney fallen, hit that gas line, the house would have blown up and everybody dies. Keep that in mind when shopping for the lowest bidder. There's many combinations of what kind of job we want to do on the outside. We'll put a drainage system on the outside. It can be gravity fed, or put an outside exterior pump, or under the footer into a sump pump on the inside. If there's no drainage system on the outside, I absolutely recommend a pressure relief system be put on the inside, along the inside of the wall. If you look at how we finish the walls, now that is a 20 mil plastic reinforced. It comes in 12 foot by 100 foot lengths. No water can ever penetrate it. That plastic will be there forever. Now, as you can see, we've got Hydro Dog supervising. He still doesn't know how to operate a machine. Exterior waterproofing system. You have to excavate to the bottom of the footer. This is the footer. This wall would then be power washed. What I applied is 12 foot by 100 foot rolls of 20 mil reinforced rubber, continuous, without seams, around this foundation from the top of the grade all the way over this footer. I'll lay down a bed of 3/4 inch crushed stone, then ADS perforated pipe, and generally I'll put 3 rows of 4 inch or 2 rows of 6 inch. After that, over it and around it, 2 inch crushed stone, roughly about 2 feet. Now, there are idiots out there that will say the ADS pipe will be crushed. When you put stone all the way around the piping, the weight is distributed among the stone. Next time you have a party and you get a bunch of your buddies that all have beer strength, give them an egg, put it in the palm of their hand, and ask to try and crush that egg. You cannot, because as you try to crush it, the pressure is distributed around the entire shell. If you have stone around your pipe, it cannot be crushed. Now, we'll put stone to a 2 foot level, and we use 2 inch because 2 inch has larger crevices in it. Then I would put filter fabric, then I'm going to backfill. You're going to get water in the piping. There are 3 ways of getting rid of the water. You could have an exterior pump. You can also take the water and bring it underneath your footer and have some pumps inside. The third way is a gravity feed. Because I've got the lake around the back, the piping is going to be gravity fed to the lake. This is the entry. Whatever's here has to go. Anything that you have around your house has to go. Another system is done from the inside. What you need to do on the interior is what's called a pressure relief system. A third the cost of this. On this job, the foundation is imploding. Homeowner had several estimates, $40,000, $50,000 to replace the foundation. I opened the outside and put the walls back into place. Then installed wall pins. A wall pin goes inside the cells, filled solid with concrete, and there's no way that that wall can ever move. Now, when I do a structural repair such as that, we have fixed the result. Now I want to fix the cause. I will always want to put a pressure relief system in so that I can be 100% confident that not only has the result been fixed, but the cause also. Now, I'm opening up the outside to push the walls back, and I'm doing an interior system. While I have the outside opened up, I'm also going to do an exterior waterproofing system. So this customer is getting an exterior system, an interior system, and the walls put back in place and more structurally sound than when the building was first built, and if they were to replace the foundation. So this customer is getting all 3. It's a $30,000 job. Outside excavation, an interior pressure relief system, walls put back for a fraction the cost of replacing the foundation. Now, the dust was sold to farmers because lime dust, Hydro Dog, is making a mess. Visualize if we had rain the outside and you have the inside. Look around. And if you've got horizontal cracks, that is what's causing the lateral pressure. And Hydro Dog just took a piss. You did an exterior system. Hydrostatic pressure is the weight of the water. It has the result been fixed, but the cause also. Since when the building was built new. Me and Hydro Dog are still on the job. Whenever you do an outside job, you're going to destroy the yard. Most of the time, you don't have to go that drastic, but on this job, we got nothing but sand, so basically I had to tier it so that I don't kill my guys. If it were to rain, that falls in, this falls in, this falls in, everybody would have been safe. We got plenty of room down there. It'll be a little dangerous, and it can collapse, and me, the machine, and Hydro Dog could be down in the ditch. Originally, when the house was built, They put in a PVC pipe that goes through the footer. The back of the house was sinking. There are helical coils on the right-hand side, and we also put an underpin on the inside. So that corner of the house is not going to move anymore. We've got not a rolled-on tar, not a sprayed-on tar. This is a troweled on, basically, roofing cement. I could give it a fancy name like poly something or other. The guys are installing a 20 mil fiberglass reinforced rubber. It's actually seamless. He's hungry and he's tired. Been working on his job all day long. He wants to go home and go to bed. This is one continuous sheet. It goes from grade down over the footer and across the bottom of the trench. By doing it in this way, any water is going to be caught by this rubber, making it absolutely impossible for water to get to the footer or get under the footer. You have your ADS pipe in here, surrounded with 3/4 crushed stone, which diffuses or distributes the weight. So this pipe cannot be crushed. Once I put the 1.5-inch stone down, and then I backfill everything, I can give you a warranty that will cover no water penetrating for the entire time that you own the home, and it will be transferable to the next owner for the time that they own the home. I've done thousands of jobs, all with that warranty. On a weekend, I like to hang out at home, work in my backyard, have a couple of beers, smoke some cigars. My phone doesn't ring when it rains with bazillions of service calls. We don't even have a service department. My systems work. I make absolutely certain that my systems work. Nothing fails.